How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and here I have two phone cases. One was about $7, I got it off Amazon, and the other, well, it was around $40. I've seen a lot of pretty strong debate on the internet about whether or not it is worth buying a more expensive phone case or not. So today, I intend to go in, take a look at both, and shine some light on whether or not it is worth buying a more expensive phone case. Also, by the way, it's October now, so I can wear this hat. I gotta adjust my audio. So, diving right in, first of all, we have protection. This pink silicone case is a Jasmine case that, again, I got from Amazon. And this nice looking bamboo case is a mouse limitless case, which I've actually discussed quite a lot on this channel, honestly, due to the fact that I am such a fan of it. However, today I'm gonna attempt to be as unbiased as possible, but all the same, it's worth mentioning that. In the time that I've owned this mouse case, I have dropped the phone inside it well over 100 times, and each time it's been dropped, it's eaten that fall like a complete champ. I know there's lots of fancy technology that I don't really understand inside this case, but whatever it is, it's worked. But what about with the cheaper cases? Well, with this specific case, I actually think it's pretty good. It's not as good as the mouse case. It doesn't have any special features like that green protection barrier inside the mouse case. You simply get an interior that kind of feels a little bit like felt, which is nice because that helps to avoid the case scratching your phone, which is something I have noticed a lot in cheaper cases. So it's nice that they've kind of avoided this. I have also noticed that this case has protected the phone inside it from some drops. Again, I wouldn't be as confident dropping this thing as I would with the mouse case, but I do think that due to the thick silicone, it should certainly be able to eat some falls. What I will say though is not all cheap cases are created equal, because while you can buy cheap tough cases, you really have to look for them. A lot of cheap cases are merely to protect your phone from either scratches or just to make it look good, and they won't really do that much in terms of protecting your phone from a fall. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know lots of people don't really drop their phone, so you may not need that drop protection offered by a more expensive case. You might just want something to avoid your phone getting scratched in your bag and to make it look a bit nicer. That said though, if you are buying a case purely for aesthetic reasons, then you will want to make sure that the inside of the case isn't a complete dust magnet. Seriously, if you have a case on your phone right now, take it off and clean the dust out. Otherwise, it will scratch your phone. I've had it happen. I know loads of people who've had this happen. Don't forget to get the dust out of the inside of your phone. If you go to the beach, check it for sand. There's all kinds of things that can and will get in your phone case, so making sure that it's clean to avoid it scratching your phone is pretty important. Overall, to summarize, it is quite clear that the expensive case does provide a bit more protection. In fact, this is a key marketing point for mouse cases specifically, and I am yet to find a cheap case that provides a similar level of protection. Maybe some of those SpyGen cases. Is it SpyGen or SpyGen? Or is it SpyGen with a hard G? Let me know. I would like to know. Somebody's gonna razz me in the comments about it anyway. I've just accepted the fact that whenever I make a video about phone cases, someone will tell me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Back on topic, my brother actually has one of those SpyGen cases and it seems to work well for him. But if protection is your #1 priority when buying a phone case, as it is for me, it's probably worth spending a little bit more money. Next up, we have build quality, and again, this one's quite clearly gonna go to the more expensive case. I have owned this mouse limitless case for over 2 years now, and while it is now, after all that time and plenty of fiddling, it has started to come apart a little bit. The build quality of this case is absolutely unmatched. Honestly, I was a little bit apprehensive when I first bought this phone case. I mean, spending £40 on a phone case kind of hurts, but as soon as I opened the box and was greeted by the build quality, I no longer felt so bad for spending so much money on a phone case. Once again, I have dropped this thing over 100 times and it's eaten every single one of those falls with no issues whatsoever. And the fact that the case is still in good working order after all of this is pretty outstanding. Now, in terms of the cheaper case, again, while this does depend from case to case, this one's actually been pretty decent. Now, again, while this one is certainly starting to come apart now, and sooner than with the mouse case, it is still perfectly functioning. That said, this is not the only cheap case I've owned. In fact, I've owned several cheap cases, some of which have lasted months, some of which have lasted days. I had one cheap tough case that stunk. I don't know why. It just smelled horrible. It's also important to note that I tend to fiddle with my phone cases, and again, some of the cheaper cases could deal with this, but a lot of them couldn't and broke pretty quick. Overall, once again though, with the build quality, this one does definitely go to the more expensive cases. But what about features? Well, to be honest, both of these two example cases are pretty plain. The mouse case does have a SIM card slot along with a SIM card tool slot and some magnets, so you can actually attach this case to compatible accessories. That said though, a lot of this is pretty standard and a feature on a lot of cheaper cases. I've also noticed that a lot of cheap cases do actually give you fun little bonus add-ons. Generally, with the more expensive cases, what you see is kind of what you get, whereas with the cheaper cases, you often will have more room to customize them. It also seems that more expensive cases do definitely prioritize protection as their features and go pretty light on the rest of it. Whereas with cheaper cases, they may not protect your phone as well, but they tend to have a few more bonus nice-to-haves, like wrist straps or included tempered glass screen protectors. That's always a nice one, even though I don't personally use a screen protector. I know a lot of people like them, so that's a nice-to-have. After this, we have looks, which I personally think is pretty important. I know people tend to write off looks purely pragmatically because it doesn't really affect the quality of the product, but if you're spending upwards of $1,000 on a phone, you don't want to put it in some crappy, ugly case. I've generally found the more expensive cases to go with more premium looking finishes, such as on this mouse case with the nice bamboo finish. But if you're not into that more natural look, then chances are you will have a lot more options for customization with cheaper cases. I mean, I've seen the ones with silicone unicorns on. Those are pretty awesome, let's be honest. Or you can go on Redbubble and customize a cheap case to your heart's content. And seeing as this is so subjective, I really don't want to declare a winner here. Choose what you like, but these are just some of the observations that I've made. Is there birds on my ceiling? I think there's birds on the ceiling of my studio. Be gone! Hopefully that's the Finally, we have the value for money. So first of all, there's no denying that often the cheaper option will be better value for money. And honestly, I think this is consistent here. If you just want a case that will protect your phone, look nice, and doesn't really have all that many bonus features, you can get some pretty decent cases at pretty decent prices. But as someone who does drop their phone all the time, I personally do get great value for money from these expensive cases. Let me explain. $50 is a drop in the pond of a $1,000 phone. And if it means that when I do inevitably drop my phone, I don't have to buy another one or spend way too much money getting it repaired, I will happily pay that premium price. And if you're in the same boat where you find yourself dropping your phone a lot, then maybe a more premium case would be better value for money for you. However, if you don't drop your phone that much and you just want something to protect your phone from light drops, scratches from keeping your phone in your bag, and you want stuff like free screen protectors and variety, then honestly, the cheaper cases do seem to be better value. I mean, you probably don't need the more expensive case in the first place, and that money can go towards things like headphones, portable chargers, all that good stuff to make your mobile experience better. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, do you prefer cheaper phone cases? Do you see the value in buying a more expensive phone case? Do you even use a phone case at all? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone who supports the show over on Patreon. If you want to get bonus videos, awesome wallpaper packs every month, and much more, then feel free to check that out. As for now, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, and smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.